What's up, everybody? Today, I wanted to talk about the courage of being disliked. The courage of being disliked, and not really what that means, but just like, who cares? So some of us walk around with that sense of, I don't really care what people think of me because I know me and my inner me's. Before, I used to not be like that. And what has helped me along this journey is knowing this. This is the key thing. And then we'll talk a little bit more because I love to yap. The key thing along my journey is when I found God and I got this closeness to God, realizing that there was people who hated Jesus.
Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
How could you hate Jesus? Yo, like, that is crazy to me. There were people who walked this earth in a time where there was a man given to earth by God who were doing these great things, who accepted everybody and was loving and caring and all these other things, had boundaries. Maybe that was it. Maybe because he had boundaries and was like, set the tone for some shit. They hated Jesus. There was people who hated Jesus. Now, if there's people who hated Jesus Christ, superstar, there's going to be people who hate you too. And that's okay. Maybe not hate. Let's not say that. But I know I got some haters and that's okay. But there were people who disliked Jesus. And that could be the simplest thing to remind you that it is okay to be disliked. They give you the courage to be disliked. The passage I refer to is John 15, 18 through 19. If the world hates you, know that it has hated me before it has hated you. Jesus has walked this earth and took burdens for you, so you know that you are not alone in how you feel. So when we're talking about the courage to be disliked, I know a lot of us, especially like positive speaking, Christian speaking, outwardly, overtly happy people, we get shunned for this. And it's like a fakeness, whatever, disdain. Forget those people. Focus on pleasing God. Focus on pleasing yourself, because remember, you are a reflection of God. And when you're reflecting God's goodness, you cannot go wrong. Remember that God is the one at the end of the day who's judging everybody, and he's judging their hearts and not their performative actions and whatever they're doing. So have that courage. Know that God is with you. God is judging everybody, and you're pleasing God. You're not pleasing the masses. Know that Jesus was disliked before for being his perfect holiness that he was. But courage is not the absence of fear. So you can walk this earth and realize, like, hey, I have this weird tingly feeling and it is uncomfortable. But walk this earth with that knowing that God is with you. Regardless, he's going to make things work out in your favor no matter what is going on. The verse that I think of the most is, God is with me, therefore I cannot go wrong. Something along that line. That is a paraphrase. I don't remember exactly what it is. If God is with you and you have the courage to move forward, you cannot go wrong. So be persistent in what you're doing. Persevere in what you're doing. Have the courage to speak out and believe and know in your heart that God is with you and that you can do anything possible, even if your knees shake at it and your voice cracks and all of that. Courage is obeying God when it's hard, because sometimes we have to pick, God over the masses. And like, sometimes it's like, oh no, I really wanted to do this thing and this was your true heart's desire. But courage is doing that gut instinct of what God's telling you. So obeying God, standing firm when there's pressure, when people want you to fold, when people want you to take the woke way, whatever. I'm going to stop before I get shadow banned or something. I'm not going to do that, but I'm not, because I'm going to speak my truth and God is going to let me prevail. But anyways, standing firm when there's pressure, waiting when you want to run. A lot of us don't want to wait for what is handing to us. We think that it's courageous to go out and find different paths, but waiting for God to give you what it is that you're being get. So wait, be patient. That's having courage. That's understanding that God is going to give you what you need when you need it, because you're living in fear when you're trying to do something else. Moving forward while still feeling fear. That's big. That's huge. Taking those steps Even when your little knees are shaking, you're like, oh, I can't do it. You can do it. That's like me, like pushing my son to jump up off of higher things. Like most parents are like, don't jump off the furniture. I'm like, hey, buddy, let's see if you could jump off of this thing. I don't care that you're scared, because I know you're going to be safe. Not that I don't care. You know what I mean? I do care, but I want him to get over that. Anyways, trusting that God's closeness is more than just emotion. So trusting that when God is close to you, that like all of these emotions that you're feeling, it doesn't matter. Trusting God is more satisfying than your emotions. But remember, to expect to be disliked if you live faithfully, because there are people who dislike goodness, buddy, and that is okay. Bible talks about them. I didn't get any quotes for that, but I know that for a fact. Don't return dislike with dislike. Just because someone's being rude to you, don't, you know what I mean? Don't dislike them. Like, just pray for them and move forward. Keep the way you conduct yourself honorable. Even if you have fear and you're in a presence of people, like a mass crowd that's showing you dislike and whatever, just be honorable in what it is that your reaction is going to be. Do something that you're going to be proud of in the, you know what I mean? Not just in the moment, but in the future. Like, live with no regrets. Live like the mirror of God. Seek peace where you can. Sometimes we're in crowded spaces and things that's going to make us feel uncomfortable, and that's okay. But seek the peace. Close your eyes and say a little prayer if you must. Let God be the one who judges hearts. Do not try to judge anybody off of what hatred that they're bringing to you for whatever reason they're bringing it. It's whatever for them. And don't trade your obedience to God for approval of the masses, because none of that matters. At the end of the day, what matters is serving your honorable, loving, respectable God. And that's it. So the courage of being disliked really falls in trusting of God. See? Simple, easy. Anyways, go check out my link in the bio. I love you. God loves you. Peace.